Is there a stream created? Let's offer prayers together. Om Ajnanathmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Mritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatade Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gau Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, so welcome all. We are on the second chapter of Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Just to give you a little introduction of how TLC is kind of placed, how Prabhupada have written it. Govinda, Govinda. So, chapter 2 talks about meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or we can say meeting of Sanatana Goswami with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A brief life of Sanatana Goswami is delineated, and then his escape from Nawab Hussain Shah, then his travel, and finally reaching Varanasi and meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After all that gets settled, then from chapter 3, teachings to Sanatana Goswami begins. So now, more or less, it is divided section-wise. So in chapter 3, largely questions asked by Sanatana Goswami, the fundamental question, who am I? Why am I suffering the threefold material existence? Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, Klesha. Like this, questions are raised in the third chapter. Like this, in the fourth chapter, a particular question is asked, and then particular question is answered. So if you see after that, each chapter is like a couple of pages. Just like in Krishna book, we have 3-4 pages of short summary Krishna Lila. Like this, each chapter represents a particular subject matter which was raised by Sanatana Goswami to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's how they have been addressed. So that will become now easy for us to read through, and for you also to keep a track of what discussion is going on. So today we'll try to see chapter 2 and maybe chapter 3 also. I can give a quick synopsis of what's the discussion of chapter 2, and maybe we can read out certain sections of it. It's a very sweet narration of who was Sanatana Goswami and how he escaped and how he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's take a look at it. Chapter 2, Sanatana Goswami. Somebody wishes to share the screen, they may share. Or else I hope all of you would have a copy of Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It begins with the verse, Vande Ananta Adbhut Aishwaryam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nicho api yat prasadat syad Bhakti Shastra Pravartakaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a person in the lowest form of life can find direction in transcendental devotional service to the Lord. So here the story begins with two brothers, Sanatan and Rupa Goswami. After Lord Chaitanya accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, he traveled all over India. During this period, he went to Malda, a district in Bengal. In that area, there was a village named Ramakeli, where two government ministers of Nawab Hussain Shah lived. These two ministers were named Dabir Khas and Sakara Malik, and they were later to be renamed Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. Being inspired by Lord Chaitanya, they decided to retire from government service and join his Sankirtan movement. Upon making this decision, the two brothers at once took steps to leave their material engagements, and they appointed two learned Brahmanas to perform certain Vedic rituals that would enable them to achieve complete freedom for the devotional service of Krishna. These preliminary activities are known as Purushcharya. These ritualistic functions demand that 3 times a day one worships and offers respects to his forefathers, offer oblations to a fire, and respectfully offer food to a learned Brahmana. 5 items: time, worship, offering of respect, offering of oblation into the fire, and offering of food to a Brahmana comprises Purushcharya. You don't have a book, Prabhu? Book? This and other rituals are mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas, the authoritative books of directions. So after performing these religious rituals, the younger brother, Sakara Malik, Rupa Goswami, returned home with an immense amount of money, which he had acquired during his government service. So now there's a discussion of how Srila Rupa Goswami divided his wealth. Indeed, the silver and gold coins he brought back filled a large boat. After arriving home, he divided the accumulated wealth first in twain and distributed one part of to the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Thus, for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he distributed 50% of his accumulated wealth to persons engaged in the Supreme Lord's transcendental loving service. Brahmanas are meant to understand the absolute truth. And once they understand the truth and actually engage in the loving service of the Lord, they can be called Vaishnavas. So that's about Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. 50% in essence was given to the Vaishnavas for the service of the Lord. And what did he do with the remaining 50%? 25% he gave it to his relatives and dependent family members, while 25% he kept for personal emergencies. It is out of this 25%, Sanatana Goswami found a way out. Next paragraph. Such distribution of personal wealth is very instructive for us. Somebody wants to read? You signed it? Yeah, speaker here? Yes. Yeah.
Such distribution of personal wealth is very instructive for all who desire to be elevated in spiritual knowledge. Generally, a person bequeaths all his accumulated wealth to his family members and then retires from family activities in order to make progress in spiritual knowledge. Here, however, we find the behavior of Rupa Goswami to be exemplary. He gave 50% of his wealth for spiritual purposes. This should serve as an example for everyone. The 25% of his accumulated wealth, which he kept for personal emergencies, was deposited with a good business firm, since in those days there were no banks. 10,000 coins were deposited for expenditures incurred by his elder brother Sanatan Goswami.
Yeah, so next paragraph talks about how Rupa Goswami got to know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on his way to Vrindavan and he managed to leave Bengal. However, Sanatana Goswami could not. So Rupa Goswami hadn't gone alone, he had gone along with Anupam. What happened with Sanatana Goswami? Next paragraph talks about it. Please read it.
At this time, Rupa Goswami
Next
received
paragraph.
information that Lord Chaitanya
Hare
Mahaprabhu.
Krishna. I already said about this. Next paragraph.
Therefore, Sanatan Goswami entrusted the responsibilities of his government service to his immediate assistants, and he remained home to study Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, he even engaged some 10 or 20 learned Brahmanas and began an intensive study of Srimad Bhagavatam in their company. While he was thus engaged, he submitted sick leave reports to his employer, the Nawab. However, the ruler was so anxious for Sanatan Goswami's advice in government matters that he suddenly appeared at his house. When the Nawab entered the house where Sanatan Goswami and Brahmanas were assembled, they all stood up to receive him respectfully and they offered him to place to sit.
So Nawab Hussain Shah came to visit Sanatan Goswami. And when he saw him, he was surprised. What had happened? He had sent his own doctor to go and check about the health of Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan had submitted his sick leave. And when his physician came and he checked Sanatan, he found him to be perfect. And this is the report he gave it to Nawab Hussain Shah. So when he came here, so Nawab Hussain Shah gave a surprise visit to Sanatan Goswami. And he was surprised to see Sanatan Goswami doing all good. So he began to see. Let's read from the middle of the next paragraph. Frankly, I'm much perturbed by your behavior. As you know, I depend fully on you and your responsible work in government. I was free to act in other matters because I was depending on you. I was free to act in other matters, in other words, to go and loot other kingdoms. That's what he means. So, but if you do not join me, your past devotion will be spoiled, which means your past services to me will be spoiled. So, what is your intention? Please tell me. So, Sanatan Goswami said, I am unable to continue to work for you. It will be very nice of you if you can let me go and allow somebody else to take my position. However, Nawab Hussain Shah, what to speak about these personalities. Anyways, so he became extremely wild and angry. He said, hey, what do you mean by this? Your elder brother, which means I, Nawab Hussain Shah, who lives like a hunter. And if you also retire from the administration, everything will be finished. I live like a hunter, which means I keep going around looting people, looting other kingdoms. And if you're not there to manage the administration, everything will finish like this. So in other words, Prabhupada says that Nawab was quite dependent on Sanatana Goswami for government administration. Thus he requested him again, if you also retire from government service, how will the administration carry on? Next paragraph. You are the governor of Gauda. Sanatana Goswami replied very carefully. And you punish different kinds of criminals in different ways. So you are at liberty to punish anyone according to his activity. By this reply, Sanatana Goswami was indicating that since the governor was engaged in hunting animals and killing men to expand his kingdom, let both of them suffer according to the acts they were performing. So Nawab was intelligent and he understood Sanatana Goswami's purpose. He left the house in an angry mood, and shortly afterward, he went off to conquer Odisha. He ordered the arrest of Sanatana Goswami and commanded that he be held until he returned. Upon learning that his elder brother had been arrested by Nawab, Rupa sent information that 10,000 coins were being held in the custody of a grocer in Bengal, and this money could be used as ransom for his brother. So that 25% exigency for which Rupa Goswami had kept his money, that's get utilized by Sanatana Goswami. And this is the only incident where Sanatana Goswami actually lied for the first time. Sanatana offered 5,000 coins to the keeper of the jail in which he was being held. He advised the jailkeeper to gladly accept for him and let him go, because by accepting the money, he would not only be materially benefited, but would also be acting very rightly by freeing Sanatana for spiritual purposes. The jailkeeper said, yes, I can let you go, for you have done many services for me and you're in government service. However, what about a Nawab? If he finds out, what will he do to me? So I will have to explain everything to him. Sanatana then invented a story which the jailkeeper might submit to the Nawab. And he said, and he told the story, and he also raised the offer from 5,000 coins to 10,000 coins. Greedy to get the money, the jailkeeper agreed to the proposition. So what had happened? Sanatana Goswami said, oh, you are my brother. We are Muslim brothers. I want to go to Mecca before I get killed. Allow me to go to Mecca. Allow me to, escape. So, religious card. He said, okay. 5,000 coins. And he said, well, what if Nawab Hussain will ask me? Then he said, all right, let me tell you a story. They tell him that I felt the urge to pass water, and I went next to the bank of the river to pass water, and then I deceived you. Or else, while trying to pass water, my feet slipped, and I drowned. Like this, you can narrate a story like this, and he increased his, proposal offer from 5,000 to 10,000 coins, and like this, the jailkeeper agreed. So finally, Sanatan ran away from the prison. And then it is mentioned in the meantime, Rupa Goswami and his younger brother Vallabha had already started for Vrindavan to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So next paragraph describes how Sanatan Goswami traveled towards Vrindavan. He didn't go through the road because he knew Nawab Hussain Shah would send a party to look for him. So he went through the jungles until he arrived at a place in Bihar called as Patada. Then he rested in a hotel where the hotel keeper was informed by an astrologer and replied. So what had happened now? So Sanatan Goswami was accompanied with his servant who also traveled with him. And the servant had carried some gold coins, some 7-8 gold coins for use of emergency. So when they came to this particular hotel in this place in Bihar, this hotel keeper, hotel owner was actually a thief. What he would do, he had a fortune teller by his side. And whenever anyone would come, he would ask his fortune teller, "Kya inke paas kuch gold coins hain? They have money?" And the fortune teller would say, "Yes, they have money." So this guy would kill his guests and would steal the money. Now, Sanatan Goswami was a minister, so was a diplomat, was a politician. They are very smart. So what happened when Sanatan Goswami checked into this hotel? The hotelier, the hotel owner, became very kind to Sanatan Goswami and his servant. Would very kindly speak to them, would ask them how everything is well taken care and all that. So Sanatan Goswami became suspicious. And eventually he asked his assistant, "Have you brought any gold coins?" Now his assistant had not told him what he had brought. He said, "Yeah, I brought some gold coins." He said, "You fool, why did you brought a death knell for us? Do you know this is the reason why this hotel keeper, the hotel owner, is being so kind to us? I'm pretty sure he has sensed that we have money and is going to kill both of us. Before he kills us, go and give him all the money and tell him, oh, you keep the gold coins. We got nothing to do with it." That's the whole story happens. Next paragraph. So the conversation between the hotel owner and has been described. Just take your rest tonight, he told him. And in the morning, I shall arrange for you to get out of this jungle trap. However, Sanatan was suspicious of his behavior and inquired from his servant Ishan, whether he had money. Ishan told him he had 7 gold coins. Sanatan didn't like the idea of the servant carrying such money. He became angry. "Why do you carry this death knell on the road?" Sanatan at once took the gold coins, offered them to the hotel keeper. And he then requested the hotel keeper help him through the jungle. He informed him that he was on a special journey for the government and that since he could not travel on the open road, it would be very kind if the hotel keeper would help him through the jungles and over the mountains. "I understand that you had 8 coins with you and I was thinking of killing you to take them," the hotel owner said. "But I can understand that you're such a good man that you don't have to offer me the money. If you don't accept these coins," in other words, the hotel owner had a change of heart. He said, "Oh, you're such a good man, you don't have to." So Sanatan said, "Well, if you don't accept, then the next hotel owner will kill me. You keep this money with you only. For this, better you take it. I offer them to you." So the hotel owner gave all assistance to Sanatan, and that very night he helped him get past the hills. Sanatan Goswami emerged from the hills. He requested his servant go home with the 1 coin that he still had with him. So what had happened, the fortune teller or the hotel owner can exactly said how many gold coins the visiting guest had. Ishan had brought 8 coins, but what had he told Sanatan Goswami? 7. And Sanatan Goswami said, "This is too much now. What are you doing? You keep the gold coin with you and you go back home." Now, while in case of Ishan, he didn't have any ulterior motivation. He was a very genuine servant. He just wanted to serve Sanatan Goswami. And he had brought this money in the case of emergency. If it is used, I should be able to offer something to my master. That was the purpose. Sanatan said, "Well, all right, you better go back. You don't need to accompany along with me." And that's how Ishan was sent back. After the departure of his servant, Sanatan felt completely free. With tongue clothing and a water pot in hand, he began to proceed to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the way, he met his rich brother-in-law, who was also in the government service, and who offered him an excellent blanket, which Sanatan accepted at his request. So here Sanatan Goswami had the dress of a prisoner, which by the time of travel through the jungle, he had exchanged with the torn clothes which he found on the side of the road. He is wearing a torn cloth. He had grown his hairs and beard because he was in the prison. And now, on top of it, he is wearing a very expensive blanket or a shawl. What a combination. A beggar with an expensive blanket. That's what he's looking like this. Then he parted away from his brother-in-law and went on alone to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who at that point of time was returning back from Vrindavan, was at Banaras, and he had already had a meeting with Rupa Goswami at Prayagraj. That has already happened. Sanatana Goswami reached Banaras. I'm sure we can read that paragraph.
When he reached Benares, he understood that the Lord was there, and he became overjoyed. He was informed by the people that the Lord was staying at the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Sanatan went there. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inside the house, he could understand that Sanatan had arrived at the door, and he asked Chandrasekhar to call the man who was sitting there. He is a Vaishnav, a great devotee of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Chandrasekhar came out to see the man, but he saw no Vaishnav at the door. He saw only a man who appeared to be a mendicant. The Lord then asked to see the mendicant, and when Sanatan entered the courtyard, Lord Chaitanya hurriedly came to see and embrace him. When the Lord embraced him, Sanatan became overwhelmed with spiritual ecstasy, and he said, My dear Lord, please do not touch me. But both of them embraced each other and began to cry. Seeing Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya acting thus, Chandrasekhar was struck with wonder. At length, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sanatan to sit down with him on a bench. He was touching the body of Sanatan with his hand, and Sanatan asked him again, My dear Lord, please do not touch me. I am touching you just for my purification, the Lord replied. For you are a great devotee. By your devotional service, you can deliver the whole universe and enable everyone to go back to Godhead. The Lord proceeded to quote a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam to the effect that a person who is a devotee of Lord Krishna and is 100% engaged in devotional service is far better than a Brahmana who is versed in all the Vedic literatures but who does not engage in the devotional service of the Lord.
So Nathan is feeling, oh, I am a Yavana, I am in a Malaysia, I served such a master, I am a fallen individual. Now Sanatana Goswami was born in a Saraswat Brahman family. I believe this is from Karnataka. So he was born in a highly esteemed Brahmana family. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touching Sanatana Goswami is totally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi touching a Brahmana is totally acceptable. Even from those conservative viewpoint where sannyasi generally doesn't touch anyone. However, Sanatana Goswami says, no, my dear Lord, please do not touch me. Now, why is he saying don't touch me? First of all, when Sanatana Goswami reached, the details are not mentioned here, there are many details over here. Sanatana Goswami, by the time he reached Banaras, on the way, he had drank water from one of the ponds, because of which he had developed an infection in his body, and the pus had developed all over the body. Boils had developed all over his body. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, the boils will puncture and the pus will come out. And Sanatana Goswami, no, my dear Lord, your body is getting dirty because of it. Don't touch me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is again and again trying to embrace and touch Sanatana Goswami. Here, the point Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoting that a Vaishnava is far greater than even a Brahmana. So Brahmanas are considered the head of the society. A Vaishnava, because is engaged in the service of the Lord, then therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is embracing Sanatana Goswami as a Vaishnava. Where Sanatana Goswami is feeling at his heart, I'm a Malacha, I served such a master, I'm outcast, I'm not anymore Brahmana, please do not touch me, it will be contaminating. From that perspective, also his body was a little bit diseased at that point of time. That's a point which is mentioned in the next paragraph also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also quoted Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm reading the next paragraph in the middle. To the fact that a Brahmana is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord, then he is lower than the lowest of the low, even though he may be qualified with the 12 Brahmanical qualities and born in a high family. However, the devotee born in a Chandala dog-eater family can purify his whole family for 100 generations, past and future, by devotional service, whereas a proud Brahmana cannot even purify himself. It is said, and Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya. Akshno phalam tvadrash darshanam hi tano phalam tvadrash gatra sangha jiva phalam tvadrash kirtanam hi sudullabha bhagavata hi loke. O devotee of the Lord, to see you is the perfection of the eyes, to touch your body is the perfection of bodily activities, and to glorify your qualities is the perfection of the tongue. For it is very rare to find a pure devotee like you. Lord then told Sanatana, please read.
O Lord, the Lord then told Sanatan that Krishna is very merciful and is the deliverer of fallen souls. He has saved you from Maharaurava.
What is Maharaurava? Maharaurava. This is hellish planets. All right. Maharaurava. Go ahead.
The Maharaurava or hell is described in Srimad Bhagavatam as a place meant for persons who are engaged in killing animals, for it is stated there that butchers or animal eaters go to that hell.
No, my dear Lord, it's all your mercy. It's the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conversed with Sanatana Goswami. He said, I heard you were put into prison bar. How did you escape? Then Sanatana Goswami narrated the whole ordeal, the whole story that he built to escape from the prison. Then in the last paragraph, it is mentioned, Lord Chaitanya then introduced Sanatana Goswami to Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra. Who was Tapan Mishra? What was the relationship with Tapan Mishra with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We read already about him. Tapan Mishra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had met him in Bangladesh, East Bengal. And there, before anything had happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to move to Banaras to prepare for his future visit. So, like this. Tapan Mishra pleasantly invited Sanatana to dine with him. Now, very interesting and very important. The Lord then requested Chandrasekhar to take Sanatana to a barber. इसके लंबे बालों को काटो और इसकी दाढ़ी को उड़ाओ. Which means Lord did not like unshaven and long hairs. All right. He not only asked Chandrasekhar to provide Sanatana with a bath and clean shave, but also with a change of clothes as well. Please read.
After bathing, Chandrasekhar gave him some good clothes. When Lord Chaitanya was informed that Sanatan did not accept new garments but later accepted only some used garments from Tapan Mishra, he was very glad. The Lord went to Tapan Mishra's house for lunch and asked him to keep food for Sanatan. Tapan Mishra did not offer Sanatan food immediately. However, but after the Lord finished his eating, there were some remnants of his foodstuff, and that was offered to Sanatan while the Lord took his rest. After resting, Lord Chaitanya introduced one Maharashtriya Brahman, a devotee of his, to Sanatan, and that Maharashtriya Brahman invited Sanatan to accept lunch daily at his place as long as he remained in Benares. As long as I remain in Benares, I will beg from door to door, Sanatan said, but the Lord will be so good as to accept this invitation for daily lunch at your house.
Did you notice something here? What a beautiful exchange just happened. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is completely in samadhi and trance, even in that situation, he is worrying for the physical well-being of his devotee. Is ensuring that Sanatana Goswami gets prasadam. And as a sadhu, one time prasadam is enough. So don't say, Prabhuji, ek hi baar kara, dusri meal kyun nahi fix kari? So as a sadhu, one time meal is sufficient. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally took charge to ensure Sanatana Goswami get prasadam every day. So when it is about wellness, it is not only about spiritual well-being. Overall well-being has to be ensured and seen. So a beautiful example from here. When we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will find such exchanges at length, many exchanges like this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased by the behavior of Sanatana Goswami. And he also noticed the valuable blanket that was given to him by his brother-in-law. Although Lord Chaitanya was overlooking the blanket, Sanatana understood that Lord has not approved of such a valuable garment on his body. And therefore Sanatana decided to get rid of it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not explicitly say anything, but he would just not look at the blanket. So Sanatana Goswami understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not approving of it. He went to the banks of the Ganges, and there was a washerman who was washing clothes. And he was wearing a torn blanket. And he went to him and he said, "Oh, what a nice blanket. I would like to exchange your torn old blanket with my new blanket." And washerman बोला, सुबह सुबह तेरे को कोई और नहीं मिला मजाक करने के लिए, मेरी बेइज्जती करने आ गए, मेरी गरीबी की मजाक उड़ाने आ गए यहाँ पर. And Sanatana, with his all humility, said, No, I'm not joking. I'm serious. Please take this blanket. And washerman was surprised. Oh, really? And that's what happens. He brought back that. That is what is mentioned in the next paragraph. I'm not joking with you, Sanatana said. Let's go to the next paragraph. Where is your valuable blanket? So now Sanatana Goswami have exchanged his blanket. And when he came back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, "Oh, where is your valuable blanket?" Sanatana informed him about the exchange, and the Lord loved him for this and thanked him. You are intelligent enough, and you have now exhausted all your attraction for material wealth. In other words, Lord accepts a person for devotional service only when he's completely free from all materialistic possessions. Therefore, as a brahmacharis, we should have the least in possession, and we should have a simple living. Do not have an idea. We somehow bring this grasta mindset or our householder mindset that I should have, maybe it's expensive, but it will last long. No, that doesn't work like this. Because the world will not see you in that consciousness. And if you're wearing an expensive clothes, expensive slippers, shoes, watch, expensive mobile phone, that's not a renounced life. Renounced order means simple living. So, because I have seen this many times, I have seen devotees asking for permission. Can I buy this? Can I buy that? And it's an utter shock and surprise. You're in the renounced order. Why would you need a jacket worth 5,000 rupees? Even many of you may not have a jacket worth 5,000. Yes or no? I mean, I don't know how expensive things are in the world outside because I never shop. But what 5,000? 500 में कोई sweater नहीं आता क्या? So no, because it will last longer. What last longer? That will last longer, but you will not last for a month in Brahmachari ashram. What is the point of getting a blanket then? So high लगती है ना, लोग सोचेंगे क्या है ये? I'll tell you an incident from Chapati. There was one congregation. Every year he would donate sweater to brahmacharis. He would donate sweater to brahmacharis, but he would donate every year new brahmacharis, not to the same. So there was one brahmachari who every year would lose one sweater. And every year when the sweater was distributed, he'll come and ask. So this guy, of course, he can't say, he felt shy about it. And the third year onward, he stopped distributing sweaters. Why? He felt these brahmacharis are irresponsible people. I work hard, I go out and work hard, and with my charity, I'm getting them the sweater. How irresponsible of them that they're losing the blanket. So when you go and see the seniors, for example, Shamanantu, he has a sweater from the last 20 years, same sweater. And the sweater would have multiple holes also. Like Sridhar Krishna, he keeps tying those knots and keeps wearing it. Same blankets, same bed sheet, same pillow, same sleeping mat. Now sleepers is something weird here happens, it goes bad, that's a different thing because they don't last. But that's Brahmachari life. I mean, there's so many examples I can give for so many seniors like this. So be in that conscious renounced order. Take a cue from Sanatana Goswami. Don't be in the spirit of seeing and buying expensive things. Brahmachari life has got nothing to do with shopping. A renounced order doesn't got. In a renounced order, if you are shopping, I mean, what is relation of? In a renounced order, you can do madhukari. Well, don't do madhukari also. You'll only get chata in madhukari today. Madhukari means begging. So nobody's going to give you anything also for that. So you cannot do madhukari because nobody's going to give you anything for that. And there's no question of you having money in your pocket and purchasing anything. Renouncers don't keep money in their pocket. So how does renouncers function? Whatever comes on its own account. Now, whatever comes on its own account is also not that you accept blindly. Then we take approval. Can I accept this? Is it allowed for me? That's the point. That's how we can live in the footsteps of what Sanatana Goswami is kind of, pleasing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord then told Sanatana, it would not look good for you to be a mendicant and beg from door to door with such a valuable blanket on your body. It is contradictory and people would look on it with abhorrence, isn't it? I mean, what will people look of you, like this? Whatever I'm doing to become free from material attachment is all your mercy. Sanatana replied. The Lord was very much pleased with him and both of them discussed spiritual subject matter. Previous to this meeting, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, previous to this meeting between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already met Ramananda Rai. So again, going back into the history, I believe I gave you the timeline of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, right? We did that discussion, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already, at the age of 24, took sannyas. Somewhere around the age of 28, he went to Vrindavan. And between 24 to 28, he had already gone to South India Yatra. Between 24 to 28, at the age around 26 around, or 26, 27, he went to Ramakeli, delivered Anupam, Rupa and Sanatan, the Virkan Sakara Malik, came back somewhere around the 27 or 28 age. He went to Vrindavan, and now he's returning back. So his conversation with Ramananda Rai had already happened. So that's what Prabhupada is quoting here. Previous to this meeting between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had met Ramananda Rai, who was a Grahastha. And at that meeting, this will be discussed later on in the book Prabhupada writes here. Ramananda Rai was asked question by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Ramananda Rai had replied to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as if he was the teacher of the Lord. However, in this case, between Sanatana and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami was going to ask the questions and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to reply. The instructions and teachings of the Lord. This is very nice. The instruction and teachings of the Lord Chaitanya are very, very important for people in general. What all he teaches, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches the process of devotional service, which is a constitutional occupation of a living entity, but it is every man's duty to advance in spiritual science. Many subjects were thoroughly discussed in the talks between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. How long Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami discussed? 2 days, 7 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. How long? Huh? Anyone online? How long they had discussed? Is that I can hear the sound? If anyone speaks online? Sorry, I can't hear the sound. They have disabled the speaker here. Yeah.
40 days.
Yes. Now, who's speaking?
40 days, Prabhuji.
40 days. I mean, I cannot remember 2 months. I don't know what the 40 days. Maybe 40 days. Okay.
Was it 3 weeks, Prabhu, I believe?
No, not 3 weeks. Or close to 2 months, actually. Or maybe Sanatana Goswami was there with Chaitanya for 2 months. Okay, somewhere. It was a good time. A long time. I'll confirm that. Somehow I remember 2 months.
Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I heard very recent 2 months he got instructions.
All right. Okay, no problem. Where were we? Yeah. By the meeting of Sanatana and Lord Chaitanya, we learned that in order to understand spiritual subject matters, one must approach a spiritual master like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and make some inquiries. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that one should approach a man of authority and learn the science of spiritual life from him. Hare Krishna. I would like to quickly take chapter 3 also. I'll be very quick with this because I cannot hold on to my enthusiasm. At least some teaching should happen. All right, chapter 3, teachings to Sanatana Goswami. This chapter is largely about discussing about how to make a submissive inquiry to a spiritual master, how to approach a spiritual master. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not as such answering any inquiry, but let's take a look what instruction was raised. I'll summarize this chapter. All of you can read in detail. I'll read a few lines from the paragraphs here. So, first paragraph, chapter 3. From the instructions Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sanatana Goswami, we can understand the science of God, transcendental form, Lord's opulences, devotion service. Indeed, everything is being explained to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord himself. Sanatan fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great humility and asked, "Who am I?" And this subject matter is discussed by Srila Prabhupada in the introduction of Bhagavad-gita. What is the dharma of a living entity? If you remember the introduction of Bhagavad-gita like this. Sanatana Goswami said, "I'm born of a lower family. My associations are all abominable and I'm fallen the most wretched of mankind. I was suffering in the dark well of material enjoyment. I never knew the actual goal of my life. Indeed, I do not even know what is beneficial for me. Although I am what is known in the world as a great learned man, I am in fact so much of a fool that I myself even think that I am learned. You have accepted me as your servant and you have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Now please tell me what is my duty is in this liberated state." Some points to be noted. There was not a big age difference between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 10, 15 years elder to Sanatana Goswami. I would have to look into my notes for that. Maybe it's possible Sanatana Goswami was probably elder to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, probable, if not younger. So that's the first point. Second thing, Sanatana Goswami was no less intelligent individual. He knew Persian, he knew Sanskrit, he knew Hindi, he knew Bengali. He was learned in many, many languages. Not only that, despite working under Nawab Hussain Shah, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami had built a Gupta Vrindavan where everyday Bhagavatam recitation used to happen, which means they were highly learned in scriptures also. They were highly professionally, or you can say skilled, and in spiritual life also they were highly learned. On top of it, they had a high birth. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri Bhir, they had all of that. High birth of Saraswat Brahman, Aishwarya, they had all the opulences, they were the ministers. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta means learning, they were highly learned, and Shri means beauty. They had all four of that. And yet, Sanatana Goswami is approaching here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as if he's born in a low family, he's illiterate, unqualified, irresponsible, etc., etc. So, Prabhupada writes, by this plea, we can understand the liberation is not the final word in perfection. In other words, Sanatana Goswami asks, "My dear Lord, what is my duty? Who am I? Why are the threefold miseries always giving me trouble? And finally, tell me how I can be relieved from this material entanglement. I do not know how to question even you about the advancement of spiritual life, but I beg that you kindly, mercifully let me know everything that I need to know." Prabhupada writes, this is the process of accepting a spiritual master. One should approach a spiritual master, humbly submit to him, and then inquire from him about one's spiritual progress. In other words, the guru should not be accepted as a matter of fashion. Just to tell society that I have a guru. Accepting a guru means making an inquiry, asking him, how can I make progress? The Lord was pleased by Sanatana's submissive behavior, and he replied, "You have already received benediction from Lord Krishna, and therefore you know everything and are free from all the miseries of material existence." The Lord further pointed out, because Sanatana was in Krishna consciousness, he was naturally, by the grace of Krishna, already conversant with everything. Because you are a humble devotee, Lord continued, you are asking me to confirm what you already know. This is very nice. These are the characteristics of a true devotee. And same was the behavior of Yudhishthira Maharaj. When I read Mahabharata, I was amazed how many times Yudhishthira Maharaj, despite perfectly knowing the answer, would again and again raise the same question, not in the way of cross-checking one authority with another authority. We sometimes act tricky. We want to see that this fellow is speaking the same thing what other fellow is speaking. No, he would just want to get his understanding clear and would ask questions again and again to the sages. Like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying to Sanatana Goswami, you know everything. or you just want to reconfirm what you know, very nice. These are the characteristics of a true devotee. In the Narada Bhakti Sutra, it is said that one who is very serious about developing Krishna consciousness has his desire to understand Krishna fulfilled very soon by the grace of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are a suitable person to protect devotional service. Therefore, it is my duty to instruct you in the science of God. I will explain everything to you step by step. Very interesting. If you see, it is almost similar to what Krishna told to Arjuna in the 4th chapter. Arjuna asked, mighty Lord, why are you telling me Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna, you are my, what is that? Bhakto Sime Sakachit. You are my devotee and you are my friend. And you do not envy me. You are the right candidate to receive and protect the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita in that same way. It is the duty of a disciple approaching a spiritual master to inquire about his constitutional position. In conformity to that spiritual process, Sanatana has already asked, what am I? Why am I suffering from? Threefold miseries. Padvagi. The threefold miseries are called Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, and Adhidaivika.
The word Adhyatmika refers to those miseries caused by the mind and body. Sometimes the living entity suffers bodily and sometimes he is distressed mentally. Both the Adhyatmika miseries.
So all of you know what is Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika. I'll be short. Adhyatmika because of oneself, Adhibhautika because of the living entities, Adhidaivika because of nature, divine arrangement. That's the point which is mentioned in the rest of the paragraph here. So I'll move forward. Next paragraph, next page. Well, I want to summarize this and start with the questions from tomorrow. If you're meeting tomorrow, probably. Yeah. Sanatana inquiry was there for an intelligent one. What is the position of the living entities? He asked, and why are they always undergoing these kind of miseries? Sanatana admitted his weakness. Although he was known by the mass of people as a great learned man, and although he accepted his designation, he did not actually know what his constitutional position really was, and just why he was subjected to threefold miseries. Please read. Next.
Approaching a spiritual master is not just a fashion, but is a necessity for one who is seriously conscious of the material miseries and who wants to be free of them. It is the duty of such a person to approach a spiritual master. In this regard, we should note similar circumstances in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was perplexed by so many problems involving whether to fight or not. He accepted Lord Krishna as his spiritual master. It was also a case of the supreme spiritual master instructing Arjuna about the constitutional position of the living entity.
So in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada quoted this conversation and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied. In teaching the Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada quotes what Krishna instructed Arjuna about who am I. That's what Prabhupada is doing. In the next paragraph, Prabhupada writes, Krishna tells Arjuna, you're not the body but spirit, soul, Mamamsa, Jiva, Loka, Jiva, Bhuta, Sanatana, you're part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Next paragraph. Here also Lord Chaitanya answering the question Sanatana repeats the same truth. There is a difference, however. Here Lord Chaitanya does not give the information about the spirit soul that is already described in Bhagavad Gita. Rather, he begins from the point where Krishna ended his instruction, which means post Bhagavad Gita. It is accepted by great devotees the Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. And from this point of view, he begins his instruction to Sanatana from the point where he ended his instruction to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers, read.
Your constitutional position is that you are pure living soul. The Lord told Sanatan, this material body cannot be identified with your real self, nor is your mind your real identity, nor your intelligence, nor false ego. Your identity is that of eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Your position is that you're the transcendental. The superior energy of Krishna is spiritual in constitution and the inferior external energy is material.
So now you might be wondering, Are, this is what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, na? You're not the body but spirit soul. So what is the post? Leave it open. Leave it open. No worries, no worries. Jab ye offering ke liye aise jayega, to you can open the door. Huh? It becomes risky. Prasadam can fall down. Okay. So what is the advanced knowledge that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave? And the advanced knowledge Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave is mentioned in the same paragraph in the 4th last line. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, belonging to the marginal potency, Tathastha Shakti, you are simultaneously one with and different from Krishna. Because you are a spirit, you are not different from Krishna. Because you are only a minute particle of Krishna, you are different from him. Lord Shri Krishna has not spoken on this subject matter. Next paragraph. Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva. This simultaneous oneness and difference always exists in the relation between the living entities and the Lord. From the marginal position of the living entities, this conception of simultaneous one and different can be understood. The living entity is just like a molecular particle of sunshine, whereas Krishna may be compared to the blazing, shining sun itself. Lord Chaitanya compared the living entity to blazing sparks from a fire and the Supreme Lord to the blazing fire of the sun. In this connection, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted a verse from Vishnu Puran, Ekadesha Stitasyagni Dyoshna Vistaraniyata Parasya Brahmana Shaktis Tatedam Akilam Jagat Padu.
Everything that is manifested within this cosmic world is but the energy of the Supreme Lord. As fire emanating from one place diffuses its illumination and heat all around, so the Lord, although situated in one place in the spiritual world, manifests his different energies everywhere. Indeed, the whole cosmic creation is composed of different manifestations of his energy.
Continue.
The energy of the Supreme Lord is transcendental and spiritual, and the living entities are part and parcel of that energy. There is another energy, however, called material energy, which is covered by the cloud of ignorance. This energy, which is material nature, uh, is divided into three modes or gunas: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Lord Chaitanya quoted from Vishnu Puran to the effect that all inconceivable energies reside in the Supreme Personality of Lord, and that the whole cosmic manifestations acts due to the Lord's inconceivable energy.
So here, this particular chapter, which is just the beginning of interaction between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, the conversation is just beginning here. The question is asked, who am I? So the first thing is, you are an eternal part and parcel of the Lord. First thing. Second thing, you are a minute particle, same in quality with the Lord, but not in quantity. This is the second point. Now the third point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will speak about is the next part. Just like in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned Kshetra, Kshetragya. Hari bol, that's all right. Kshetra and Kshetragya. Like, camera became hanged, huh? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. All right. ठीक है, fine. What was I saying? So 13th chapter, Kshetra and Kshetraga concept comes. What is a Kshetragya concept? Which is the third point, which is Chaitanya was saying, that as a Kshetragya, Kshetra, the body is a field, Kshetra. You are also Kshetragya, you know of the field. However, you do not know about the field about all other bodies. You only know about this. This is another difference which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the next paragraph about this. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, although the living entity is constitutionally conversant, I'm reading the next paragraph in the middle, with spiritual energy or has the potential to understand spiritual energy, he is covered by the material energy that identifies the body with the self. This false identification is called false ego. Deluded by this false ego, the bewildered living entity in material existence changes its different bodies and suffers various kinds of miseries. Knowledge of the living entity's true position is possessed to different extents by different types of living entities. In other words, Prabhupada concludes, it is to be understood that living entity is part and parcel of the Lord. Please read. Because the material energy is inferior, man has the ability to get uncovered from this material energy and utilize the spiritual energy. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that the supreme energy is covered by the inferior energy. Due to this covering, the living entity is subjected to the miseries of the material world, and in proportion to the different degrees of passion and ignorance, he suffers material miseries. Those who are a little enlightened suffer less, but on the whole, if everyone is subjected to material miseries due to being covered by the material energy. So that is the third point. Kshetra, Kshetragya. And the fourth point which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes is from the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhuminapo Nalovayu Kamanabuddhirevacha. And the next verse, Aparayamitastuanyam, which is superior energy, inferior energy. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks about relationship between the jiva and the energy. The material world, which is dead matter, cannot act on its own. This is called inferior energy. And then there is a superior energy. So jiva acts as superior energy, which manipulates this inferior energy, like this. The cosmic manifestation, reading from middle, which is made of material elements, has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy. It can actually be said that the conditioned life of the living entity is due to the forgetfulness of its relationship of the living with the Supreme Lord in the superior energy. When that relationship is forgotten, conditional life is the result. Only when man revives his real identity, that of eternal servitor of the Lord, does he become liberated. So, in true sense, what is liberation? One preliminary meaning of liberation is freedom from material sufferings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And this is preliminary understanding of liberation because you're getting mukti from suffering. However, it's not a complete definition. Liberation actually occurs only when we have revived our lost or forgotten relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addresses Sanatana Goswami's first inquiry, who am I? Like this. So we'll read chapter 4 onward tomorrow. I just wanted to kind of summarize Sanatana Goswami meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get into the teaching quickly. So therefore I kind of rushed through with the third chapter, and we all have read Bhagavad Gita, so all of you are familiar with it. I kind of summarize the 4 points Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made. And tomorrow onwards we'll take a look at it so that, there is some interesting philosophical teachings like that. So, and then conversation with Prakashanand. So this conversation with Sanatana Goswami will continue up to chapter number 16. So almost 16, chapter number 16 means 12 chapters, almost 13 chapters is the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. And then discussion with Prakashananda Saraswati will also be there. Ramananda Rai would also be there for the talks of Prakashananda. Mahavedi philosophers converted, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, why study Vedanta Sutra, Sabhamama Bhattacharya, talk with personal Bhattacharya, and then finally is Ramananda Rai. Any guess why conversation of Ramananda Rai is put in the end? Huh? Why? This is not the essence. Sanatana Goswami को essence नहीं दिया. क्या मतलब है तुम्हारा ज्यादा था? तुम्हारा उत्साह की बात नहीं पड़ेगी. फटाफट बोल दिया. Essence दिया. What essence? Define essence. What essence? Anyone else? Can you enable the speaker now? Hey, next time give me the controllers. Making too much time for me. I can manage it easily. So, any thoughts on it? Although the Ramananda Rai conversation happened long ago, the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya conversation happened even before Ramananda Rai. Why it has been Ramananda Rai conversation, particularly Ramananda Rai conversation, why it has been put in the end? Why Srila Prabhupada thought of it, no? Because he wrote it. So to teach. Any thoughts?
Prabhu, it's
Yes. Go ahead. Prabhu.
Yeah, because the conversation with Ramananda is a step-by-step inquiry, and it's basically the conclusion of all the conversation that Mahaprabhu had with others.
Yeah, so in other words, in all of the conversations, first differences, in all of the conversation, people are asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is the only conversation which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking. When the teacher of all is going to make an inquiry, it has to be a advanced subject, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going to ask Ramananda, who am I? So it's the most advanced subject matter, first of all. And what is the advanced subject matter? Is the esoteric nature of the devotee's relationship with the Lord. So that subject matter, therefore, has been put in the end so that we have gone through and understood some part of the discussion, and that comes over there like that. All right. So congratulations. We are on chapter 4 now. We have covered 56 pages. ना जाने हम लोग कब से हमारे घर पे ये किताब रखी होगी, शायद कभी खोली नहीं होगी, हो सकता है आप लोगों ने खोली भी होगी. So good. मैं अभी पढ़ते पढ़ते I'm getting excited for the next book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We'll read verse by verse. We'll go into all those 2,400 verses. Now group is growing, right? You have read Bhagavad Gita, you read Ishapan, you read NOI. Now you're at TLC. So next book should be Nectar Devotion, but it has to be verse-wise. We'll go into that little detail study. Verse-wise makes it more interesting, because after all this thing, now your heart will be bubbling with spirit of enthusiasm for bhakti. Dil mange more. You want to know more about rasa. You want to know about this. You want to know about more sadhana bhakti and all that. So Nectar Devotion is the most appropriate book. And we'll read all those verses then. That will be that. All right. So with that, thank you all for your kind attention joining us
ask
for today.
one question?
Yes,
Hare
yes, yes.
So, Prabhuji, मैं पहले ही, I asked for forgiveness if this question is wrong or I shouldn't ask like this. But I was just curious to understand कि जैसे सनातन गोस्वामी को तो 2 महीने इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने, while रूप गोस्वामी को 10 days ही दिया था. And but we see that all our literature that we study, like this book or maybe Enodi and I, and then we are called also Rupanugas. It looks obviously both got equal mercy with Mahaprabhu, but in perspective of our studies and all, and we are called Rupanugas. So I was just like, yes, I hope I'm able to convey.
Yeah, I totally understood the question. So anyone would like to give a response to this? Are Rupa ke sang 10 din, Sanatan ke sang 2 mahine. So according to our calculation, Sanatan must be more important. And Sanatan Goswami was the elder brother of Rupa Goswami. Then we should be called Sanatan Anuga. Why are we called Rupa Anuga? So it's a valid question. Any reflections from anyone? Huh? Law book Rupa Goswami ne diya. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Oh well, Sanatan Goswami could have written also. Parampara came from Rupa Goswami. Parampara came from Rupa Goswami. What do you mean by Parampara came from Rupa Goswami?
Sanatan Goswami might have different lineage than whatever we have Guru Parampara that is from Rupa Goswami.
No, not like that. Sanatan Rupa was always there. 6 Goswamis there, na? Shri Rupa Sanatan Jiva Gopal Bhatt, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatt. So it's a valid question. I would like to hold on. I would like you to all explore. I'll give you some clues here. We have Guru Purnima. There are 2 days in Vrindavan where you have largest pilgrimage body going around the parikrama of Govardhan. One is Guru Purnima and second is the तुम गए हो कभी? तो पता है? तो काय guesses मार रहे हो? कुछ भी है जन्माष्टमी. कार्तिक पूर्णिमा जो होती है ना, that's another. These are the 2 where you have lakhs and lakhs of people. And among these 2, now Kartik Purnima should be more important for devotees. In the Kartik ke mahine mein parikrama karna. Yet, on the day of Guru Purnima, which comes somewhere around May, June like this, you have more devotees, Brajavasis precisely, not outsider, more Brajavasis doing parikrama of Vrindavan and Govardhan, particularly Govardhan parikrama. Now, what's the idea behind on Guru Purnima doing parikrama of Govardhan? What's the logic behind it? Sanatan Goswami, even up till his very old age, his schedule was such, every day he will go for Govardhan parikrama, not the short parikrama, the long parikrama, which is almost double the distance. And until the end of his life, he did it. And therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being pleased with his sincerity and dedication, got him a Govardhan Shila, which is found at Radha Damodar temple. So it is said, if you circumambulate that, it is equivalent to taking parikrama of Govardhan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested, Sanatan, you have become so old. You should now do parikrama of only of this thing. Which means Govardhan parikrama was very dear to the heart of Sanatan Goswami. Because it was very dear to Srila Sanatan Goswami, in the memory of Sanatan Goswami, every Brajavasi, even up to today, more than 500 years later on every Guru Purnima, they go to Vrindavan and all Brajavasis and lakhs of Brajavasis, they do Govardhan Parikrama. For whose honor and whose memory? Which means Sanatan Goswami, even up to today, is the Guru of every Brajavasi. Such was his influence. Now, Kartik Purnima, people do it for pleasing Srimati Radharani. Even then, the count of Brajavasi is lesser as compared to the count on Guru Purnima. Even up to today, the situation like this, so many generations have passed, so many things have happened in India, but even today. That was the influence of Sanatan Goswami. Okay, so आप सोचिए.
So
इस
just
चीज
one
को.
little thing, Prabhuji, that when I was trying to find, think कि क्या हो सकता है. So only one thing, but I was not sure about it, so I asked you. So one thing that came to my mind was maybe, like we say, na, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. Rupa Goswami understood the heart
No,
of
no, no, no,
Chaitanya
no.
Mahaprabhu.
Don't bring all those things here. Don't bring all those things. So don't bring on your additions like this. Continue reading and let's see if you find what's the actual reason. Don't bring this material calculations here of comparison between Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. That's not the way. That will go onto the side of aparadh then. That because Rupa Goswami understood the heart like that. It is not like this. This question is arising because of lack of knowledge of the lives of Rupa and Sanatan. Therefore, I would say let's hold on.
Okay.
Because you raised a question, which is a valid question, I spoke about a little bit Sanatana Goswami. So let's continue with the reading, and with time, let it be answered. Okay?
Okay.
Let's not
Thank
bring
you.
our calculations here like this. And it's not needed also. Something can be as a suspense. Anyway, it's not affecting your bhakti. If it was affecting your bhakti, you would have addressed. And maybe the suspense will keep you inspired, continue reading TLC and then Chaitanya Charitamrita and whatnot. Okay? Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Rupa Goswami ki, Srila Sanatana Goswami ki.